Hi guys, welcome to Code Bashers. Guys, in this video, I will be discussing the latest Cognizant Gen Z interview experience that happened today only, that is on 8th November 2021. So guys, make sure that you do not miss any question of this video and make sure to watch it till the end so that you can get to know the type of the questions as well as the level of the questions which are getting asked in the Gen Z interview of Cognizant. Guys, this is the 15th or you can 15th Gen Z interview experience that I'm posting for the Cognizant on this channel. All the rest of the interview experiences of Cognizant Gen Z you can find under this playlist. I will give the link of this playlist in the I button or in the description box. Kindly make sure that if you have your interviews in coming days, then make sure to go through every videos because there are a lot of questions that will be repeating in Cognizant Gen Z interview. Guys, if you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe it as well as join my Telegram groups. Also, I am posting regular updates on different companies which are hiring as well as the questions which are getting asked in them. So guys, now let's start this video, and before starting a video, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button for this channel. Okay, so guys, the date of the interview was 8th November 2021, that is today only. The branch of my friend was IT. The duration of the entire interview was 30 minutes. Yes, this interview was very long. In this, question related to Java were asked as well as questions related to SQL were asked. So kindly do not skip any of these questions and make sure to watch it till the end. Okay. So the first question was introduce yourself. So again guys, in every interview of any company, this will be the first question that will be asked from you. So kindly do not skip this question. Kindly prepare this question beforehand only and try to speak the answer confidently. You can include all your skills, your internships, your projects, your extracurricular activities or your hobbies also in this type of questions, but do not include anything in which you are not comfortable in, because there can be certain questions that can be asked from your introduce yourself, and if you will not be able to answer them, then again it will be a very bad impression on the interviewer. So I hope I have made my point clear. To only include those things in which you can answer in the interview. So moving to the next question. Next was what language you like. So this candidate said that he liked Java. Next question was write a program to count vowels in a string. Guys, this is a very basic question that can be asked from you in any technical interview. There are certain pet questions in Cognizant that you must remember. Fibonacci series, finding the prime number in given range, reversing a string or an array. These type of basic string questions, that counting the vowels in a string or counting the frequency of characters. So these are very commonly asked questions in an interview in Cognizant especially, as well as there is one more question, that is the palindrome question. So kindly prepare all these questions very well so that you can answer it in the interview. Okay. Next was explain OOPS concepts in detail. So again, it's a very commonly asked OOPS question, and guys, for this particular question only, I have made a dedicated video on my channel in which I have discussed in detail that how you will have to explain each of these concepts to the interviewer with the help of real life examples. So I have discussed that thing in detail in that video. The link will be present in the I button or in the description box. Make sure to check that. Okay. The next question was how to achieve multiple inheritance in Java. So guys, Java is a, you can say, is a different language in which multiple inheritance cannot be achieved using classes. So for that purpose only, there is multiple inheritance in Java can be achieved using interfaces. Now, if you are giving interview in Java or you have written skills in Java, then you must know that what are interfaces and what are the abstract classes, or why multiple inheritance, how we can achieve multiple inheritance. So this is the answer to this question. So I hope the question is clear to you. Next was what is the difference between interfaces and abstract classes. So guys, the major difference between interfaces and abstract classes are that using interfaces we can achieve multiple inheritance in Java, but using abstract classes we cannot achieve multiple inheritance in Java. This is one of the major difference. Now the next difference that comes is in interface there are only abstract methods which are present, but in abstract classes there are both abstract methods plus non-abstract methods which are present in the abstract classes. So I hope these two differences are clear to you. And guys, whenever a difference is asked from you in an interview, make sure to give at least 2 points of difference. Okay. The next question is what is method overloading and what is method overriding. So guys, method overloading is used to increase the readability of the program, whereas method overriding is used to provide a specific implementation of the method that is already being provided by its superclass. So in method overloading, what happens is that we have 2 to 3 functions with same name but different arguments, and in method overriding there is the use of 2 classes in which one is a parent class, another one is the child class. So in child class there is a method that has been overridden that was earlier declared in the parent class. So I hope the difference is clear to you. Now again, method overloading is performed within a class, whereas method overriding occurs in two classes, that is a inheritance, or you can say inheritance relationship is there. In case of method overloading, parameter must be different, but in case of method overriding, parameter must be same. So I hope the difference is clear to you. Okay, next is what is the difference between throw and throws keyword. So again, it's a very commonly asked Java question in an interview, but I will give the link of this particular question in the description box so that you can read the article from JavaPoint. Okay. Now next are what are wrapper classes. So guys, if you know Java, then you must have come across a term that is known as wrapper classes, which helps in converting the primitive data type into object, like int has been converted into integer, and similarly opposite is also possible, that is converting typecasting objects into primitive data type, like that is integer has been converted into int. So these are some of the examples of auto boxing, unboxing. So these type of questions can be asked in an interview. And again, what are wrapper classes? You will have to read it from Geeks for Geeks, because there is a very good article in which everything has been described very good. So kindly, the link is in the description box. Make sure to visit it. Okay. Now next was, do you know SQL? So guys, these were all the Java questions which were asked in the interview, and next phase was to about SQL, that is DBMS. So my friend said yes, that he knows SQL. Okay. Next question was, what are DDL and DML commands? So guys, again, it's a very basic SQL question that can be asked in an interview, that what are DDL and DML commands. So first of all, you will have to tell the full form of DDL and DML commands. So DDL stands for data definition language, and it helps you to define the database structure or schema. That DDL commands stands for data definition language, and they help us in figuring out that how a table inside a database will look like. Whereas DML commands stands for data manipulation language, and it allows us to manage the data stored in the database. DDL commands help us to make the structure of the table, and DML commands help us to modify the data inside that is present already inside the table. Okay, now next is DDL command is used to create database schema, as I told you earlier. DML command is used to populate as well as manipulate database. Okay, now DDL is not classified further. DML is classified into procedural and non-procedural DMLs. So again, this is also a major difference between DDL and DML commands. So I hope this question is also clear to you. Next is, what are constraints in SQL? So guys, in many videos, if you are following my videos, in many such videos, this type of question has been asked directly in an interview. What are the different types of constraints in SQL? It does not mean, it can be asked from any branch, whether it is mechanical, you can say CSC or non-CSC branches. These type of questions that have been asked in this video can be asked from any candidate irrespective of their background. So kindly prepare these type of questions very well, because they are commonly asked interview questions. So again, coming to the constraints in SQL, there is not null constraint, unique, primary key, foreign key, check constraint is there, index constraint is there, default constraint is there. So again, in previous videos also I have described these constraints in detail. I will not describe these constraints in detail in this video, as the video is getting long. So you can take either the screenshot of this page, or you can visit the previous videos in which I have described the same. So guys, these were all the questions which were asked in the interview of Gen Z today. I hope it will help you in preparing for your interviews. And guys, please like the video if you want me to make more such videos, as well as please hit the subscribe button. And if you have any query related to Gen Z interview, then you can surely comment down. I will make a separate video for your queries and will resolve them. So guys, thank you for watching it, and do not forget to subscribe this channel.